All right, let's get rocking and rolling. So you're all here. You've got a pen and paper. Awesome, awesome. Melissa's ready. And what we're going to basically do is we're going to allow Perrin to run the show. Thanks for jotting in the Facebook group some questions around digital marketing. So it gives Perrin and myself a little bit of idea on what you guys want. If there's any other following up questions, then you can feel free to type them in the box, in the chat box, and we can run through from here. Now, for those jumping on who aren't too familiar with this, the idea is Perrin's going to run the show, answer all your key questions, and after this, I'll put a post up in the group, and what that will allow you to do is give us some key insights in terms of the biggest takeaways you've had, but it will also give you guys an opportunity to reach out to one another and ask the key question, right? The key power question within this group is, who can I send your way that would be an ideal client or a key source of collaboration? So that's really what we want to do here. We really want to encourage that everyone is to come from a place of service, come from a place of abundance. And that's how I've grown my network in the last 12 months. And it's been extraordinary. The amount of business relationships and joint ventures and opportunities that have come up for me just by asking this simple question has been so powerful. It's been incredible. And people who have been doing it even just the last week have seen a massive increase in their business results and their business opportunities just by asking someone, who is it I can send your way that would be an ideal client or a key source of collaboration? And this is what we can do for Perrin, because Perrin's going to lay it all out here, and she's not asking for anything in return. She's giving her time, energy, and effort to be here. What would be amazing is if you guys use this skill in asking her, right? We'll give her a bit of an opportunity at the end to see how it is we can help her. But even after this, if you just to reach out and connect with her on Facebook and just ask that power question of, who can I send your way? You will then have Perrin in your network, right? And she is someone you want to have in your network. She is someone you want to have in your business community as you build your own tribe, as you build your own masterminds. So Theodore has a hand raised. Theodore, if you want to open up and have a chat, if you have a question, then feel free to do that as well. Or maybe you can type in the group chat, in the chat box. That would be awesome. So we'll get Perrin to basically start and open up. If she has anything that is anything that she wants to start with. She's read a few of your questions in the post, which is incredible. And I thought to ask you, Perrin, is there any way you would like to get started that would make you feel most comfortable and cover the most things that you think are most important?
Well, sorry, I just unmute myself. Hi, everyone. Thank you for giving me a bit of time and looking good as always, Tyson. Thank you, everyone, for your time as well. I really appreciate that. I think we've all had massive value from this community right here, so I really appreciate that. I just thought, I understand that this is also a network. A lot of people have their own agencies. I wanted to have a feel of how many people are running their own agencies, or how many people are doing something else in terms of in digital or outside of digital. Do we have a bit of a stat on that? Or
so I think we have, I think a lot of the people here aren't running their own business, aren't running their own digital agencies. The vast majority just really interested in the building digital marketing to build their own businesses. So we see Cheryl here. Cheryl runs a digital brand agency.
Fantastic.
We have a lot of people here who run businesses, whether it be in basically running a solopreneur type of business and looking for digital marketing in terms of how they can best utilize it, right? How they can operate it. So Regina, like you're saying, not an agency, just coaching businesses. Kerry's really cool, music teaching, where she coaches children. So
beautiful. thank you everyone for your participation as well, because that really helps in understanding how do we run this. Tyson, do I have 30 minutes or what's our timeline looking like, so I know how to
So you have about 6 hours if you
fantastic, even better. I can't stop talking, guys.
No, there's no real time frame on this. It's really outcome based. So as long as people are getting the value and everything like that,
yeah,
and then that's really what matters. And so normally these calls have been going for about an hour. If the conversation goes to an area where I can also add something in, I've got a few slides if people want to understand how to capitalize on the content you receive in terms of the mindset, in terms of the understanding. I've got a few slides on that if we have time at the end. But this is really for you, Perrin, to show us your skills, give us some really, really cool value bombs, and just really answer the key questions that people have.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I thought I'll just give everyone a bit of a background on myself. I think Tyson's done a bit of a brief, but first question is, a lot of people ask me how old am I because I look 12 or 19. Some people say I look 19. I'll take it as a good thing. I've been in the industry for about close to 10 years already. So I've been working, started education, studied more than I should be studying, and then getting my hands dirty in businesses. So as Tyson also mentioned, I do have quite a number of clients that actually pay me up to $1 million every year to grow their business. So my focus and my goal or my passion is to actually grow businesses. If I can influence multiple businesses at one time, I think that really excites me. And therefore, I was really excited to be in a group and a platform like this to also kind of share a bit of knowledge. And, there could be something that you guys have a good insight on, and vice versa as well, because we're all in different fields. And if we can value add in that way, well, the world is a better place, isn't it? I think on this platform as well, so if you do have questions, please write them down, because I understand it's a bit harder to kind of do a bit of a communication or like a classroom setting. So feel free to write them down, but I'll go through a bit of, I think I wanted to cover a bit of, so I'm working for WME. I'm not sure if people have heard of WME Group before. We are Australia's largest digital agency, and also I believe the only one that is public listed. However, we haven't always been large. So we started as a small, startup all the way, and that was about 8 years ago actually. We started as a startup, doing our own thing before actually scaling and growing to the point where we got public listed. So I think a good story or something that might inspire people is, how do you scale from a startup in terms of doing something in your own room or your own backyard, to then scaling to a scalable size. And I think that's what most businesses want. We want to reach out so we can help more people. A couple of questions, I think. Kerry mentioned public listed. Public listed is where you're on the stock exchange and where you people in the public can invest in the company as well. So on ASX listed, basically. So from startup, and how do you get ASX listed? Obviously, starting from a small group, a small number of employees. The main feature, I think, number one is knowing your customers. I would cover today one, and that covers a lot of the questions that we've got on the Facebook group. Knowing your customers. The second thing is employing the right people. So people with the right vision and the right hunger to want to grow things with you and for you as well. With marketing, and I would encourage you guys to check out our ads, our Facebook ads. You can have a look because it's all public. I might even share. So a couple of things that maybe I should just show you that and these are really real insights from how we run the business and how we do things here. All right, if everyone can see my screen. these are my questions that I'm going to go through in a sec. But oops, for the benefit.
That looks like an amazing group right there.
It is fantastic. I wonder who started it. Very talented. So you can always go to Facebook Ads Library, and this is a free platform, a free tool that you can actually look up anyone on Facebook who are doing ads. So if you're ever stuck, or you need inspiration, or you need just something to base your, to follow or to base your templates on, you can always start looking. So it's called Facebook Ads Library. You can start searching. So we can go maybe Nike. We'll see what Nike's doing. We'll start loading up, and then you can see all the ads there. So the best two things I actually use this for, one would be spying on competitors. What are my competitors doing? The second thing is inspiration. So brands that have made it really well, really good with their marketing, it's good to see what they're doing and how they're doing things as well. So take note, this is a great one. I won't go through Nike's ads, but it gives you a lot of insight. It gives you a lot of little gems and nuggets that you can pull out from. If we go back to WME and what we're doing, we've got, we did a bit of a strategy and a rebrand this year as well. So what we did was to figure out as a digital agency, who are our target audience, what do our customers need, and what are they looking for? We know that video is very, very powerful. We started having a bit more video, short little clips. I don't know if you guys heard of TikTok, but short little clips. TikTok is new social media. So that's been booming, and it's booming for a reason. So short video clips like this. I'll do that. All right. Just to skip it so you can view it, but short clips like that to shots. It's sharp and snappy, that captures people's audiences. Faces obviously is really powerful. We test different copies, different styles, and then there's one on me here. But we can look through, what your competitors are doing, what the market leaders are doing, and that will help give you a good idea. It looks like we kind of froze a little bit.
So what you're basically saying, to just sort of summarize here, so the Facebook ad library can be used for spying on your competitors to see what they're doing and what's working, but also to give you some inspiration on what's happening, right? And what you can do and the ideas you can use. Because I think a lot of people on here, even if they're not looking to scale at the moment to a big brand, a lot of them are looking at, okay, what should I be doing on Facebook? What should I be doing on LinkedIn? What can I be posting on YouTube? What content is going to get the most engagement? What content is going to get the most use out of my time? And what you're saying is, well, you can get ideas from those that are in your industry and ideas for those who are more are a larger brand in your industry, and you can have a look and see what they're doing, because they've obviously tested and tweaked many things, and then you can even do that at the organic level. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a shortcut or a cheat to knowing, what the best in the market are doing, and then replicating that.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Another little thing that just came through my mind, I wasn't really quite planning for this, but a lot of people started looking to, obviously, search engines like Google, or they started looking to social media to answer questions. So if you're writing content, a good way is to structure your title into questions, because people nowadays directly type questions into a search bar. For example, if you're your podiatrist, why is my ankle swollen, or something like that, or what should I look out for in a good brand? Let's say if you're a branding agency. So always try to put yourself in your customer's shoes, and this is so cliche. Oh, we're kind of like frozen. I don't know if we're okay here. Okay, all right. Yeah, so it might seem a little bit cliche that, you know, put yourself in your customer's shoe, but try to ask your customers if it's really hard for you to put yourself or imagine that. Another tool that would be useful to understand your customers is to do a customer avatar. So ask yourself, create a profile of your customer. So is your customer more of a Tom or is it more of a Sharon? And what do they do? So we start, you know, profiling them. What is their age range? What is their demographic? What is their interest? What is their pain point? What keeps them awake at night? What keeps them excited? So these are the things that can help you drive. Where do I start? What kind of content should I be putting on? And how do I structure my business to reach these people? So I give you an example. With digital marketing, we do a lot of work with SEO, and not a lot of people know about SEO. And it's kind of like a, you know, pretty much a smoke screen, or you guys do a bit of voodoo magic, and suddenly, you know, a website appears on the top page of Google. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And hang on, I'm just hitting a pin here. All right. I'll cover customer avatar in a sec. So people, well, a lot of our customers feel we don't know what you're doing, and also we don't know if you're going to get results for us. There are a lot of agencies out there as well that say we can't guarantee any results because, you know, if Google changes the algorithm suddenly, you know, something happens, that there's no guarantee. It's kind of, you know, we'll see how we go with that. And usually you would need at least 12 months to build it up. So we've heard our customers and we went, okay, how do we help customers feel a bit more secure or feel a bit better with committing 12 months of their time, because we need 12 months to actually build something. And also helping them cross the hurdle of what if I'm not getting a result for my return or my investment. So we went away, thought about it, and we came back with guarantee milestones. So something that is okay or manageable for us to reach, and also a solution that helps our customer kind of cross over to the hurdle of, okay, I'm ready to invest because I've got a bit of an assurance or insurance that I'll be getting a result. So what we did, we had milestone guarantees like reaching page 1. So 10% of all your keywords should reach page 1 by month 3. 30% of your keywords should reach page 1 by month 6. And 60% of your keywords should reach page 1 by month 12. So we've got these milestones and goals that we set for our clients. And if we don't hit the milestones, then we'll keep working for free. So you don't have to pay us until we hit the milestones. So that's just to prevent, you know, things like Google algorithm changes or changes in the industry so we'll take on the risk so that our customers don't feel like we don't know if you're going to get a result or not. So that we found that has helped us in our sales process, and that has converted a lot more clients because people have or feel a bit more comfortable. It's kind of like buying insurance. You know, you feel there's a peace of mind. You know that you've got your back covered, and if anything goes wrong, you've got insurance. You know, everything will be covered. So that's an example of how we've understood our customers, and we've also understand their pain points and their hurdles, and to offer a solution to cross over to help them with that.
That's cool. And so I think what the best takeaway there for whether it be Cheryl who's doing her own or DJ who's asking about the avatar is to, when you're studying your market, when you're studying your clients and you're working out that avatar, the key question is to understand where are their pain points and where are their uncertainties so that they feel more certain and more confident to go with you. If you're guaranteeing some milestones, if you're guaranteeing some results, not only does it limit their risk because you're taking all the risk, but it also allows you to level your game up where you're like, well, now I need to be resourceful where I can deliver, yep. Right? Yep. So it doesn't matter what business you have, or what you're doing, whether like Elizabeth's in real estate or Andrew in graphics and design, it's really asking yourself the question of what are my clients, what are my clients' main concerns with signing up for something like this, and how can I take on all the risk and just basically allow them so much confidence and so much reassurance that we're going to get the results for them. And if not, we'll basically work with you until you do. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. But it came from a point of understanding our customers or our clients. So if we didn't understand that people had that fear that we can't commit like 12 months of investment and then see nothing, then we came up with a solution. So that's where and the thing is, you don't need to have one customer avatar. You can have multiple, because you've got different types of clients. So there will be some clients that are risk averse, or needing to see something first. There is another type of client that is really on the go. They want to jump into everything real quickly, but they may not necessarily know what they're jumping into, but they just want to keep going. So we've got different avatars for different people, and we've got different marketing messages for the different types of people we're trying to reach, and different solutions as well. So just to answer DJ's question on why use a customer avatar, it's to understand your customer so that you can put yourself in your shoes, so you can craft a great messaging or message to your customers. And also not just crafting a message, but it helps you with your business direction. So like in the story that I've shared, it changed the way we've done business. It's changed the way we've operated. It changed the way it pushes us and challenges us to actually deliver the results. It makes us not be complacent because of these milestones, because we need to get paid, right? So one thing would be important to understand, not just the pain points, but their motivations. Why do people come to you? What are they looking for? What, would it be, I think we've got a personal shopper branding person here as well. Why do people come to you? Was it a confidence thing? Was it an external, how do people look at me? Or is it because I need to be professional and I don't have the mind for it? Something along those lines. Why do people go to you? Our messaging covered two things. One was the guarantee. The other thing was people wanted to grow their business. So a lot of it would be centered around, okay, we're here with you, we want to grow your business, or here's your expected growth, or some case studies of past clients, things like that will help us craft the message, but all came from a customer avatar and understanding that. And you can go as detailed as possible. You can be, this is Sharon, and she's age 40, she's got 2 children, her personality is a Virgo, or wherever it is. You can go very, very detailed, and it will give you more and more insight into how to strategize the way you want to run your business.
Amazing. Awesome. And so does that help everyone? Obviously, if you're in business, you understand that we must understand our clients and our prospects, and the pain points, not only the pain points, but also the motivation, why it is they're coming to us, and what's going to be the outcome they're looking for, and how you can basically lower the risk for them to sign up with you. And obviously we're all in business to get someone from A to B. If you can help them understand in their mind and in their body that you're the person to get them from A to B, then that's just, it skyrockets their level of confidence in you and their level of certainty, right? Yeah. And anyone that studied sales will know that sales comes nothing down to level of certainty, right? So if you have that certainty, then they're going to feel that within you. So that's a key component. And I've seen Corinne speak at other events, and she's prolific with recommending tools and resources. So if you have any questions on what to use, how to use it, what's the best platform out there, she's the perfect person to even contact after this call, because she will give you a bunch of tools, a bunch of resources that are completely free that you can use in your business to understand things like your avatar and to work on these sort of things. But I'll open the floor with you, Corinne, if there's any other important questions you want to answer, important topics you want to cover. where do you want to sort of go next with this?
All right, beautiful. Well, speaking of tools, and this was something that I've not shared in the previous one, so it will be a bit of a gold nugget for you as well, Tyson. There is, if you haven't heard of this page called Answer the Public. Okay. .com. It helps you out with your content. It helps you out with understanding what people are searching for or what people are typing for. So there's a search box here. They've gotten so popular now. They started doing a lot of ads and started paid stuff. But so, for example, we've got a few businesses here. So maybe we've got something to do with coaching. Yeah. I remember. Oh, sorry, a bit of a typo there. Coaching. Let's go. Okay. This is not working for me today. All right, we'll change this. I just changed my laptop this morning, by the way, so I'm finding a lot of kinks. Let's give that a go. If not, I might not run through this. You can go, you can look at it in your own platform. I've hit a limit. So, and it's called answerthepublic.com. Let me just copy and paste this. It's for you guys. Get to my chat. Here's my chat.
So this is a resource to help people understand what people are searching for. So what keywords they're searching for, what questions they're asking. Is this the platform for that?
Absolutely. So it's really cool if you can go, maybe go explore it in your own time. Cool. But if you answer, like let's say I typed in coaching, it'll come up with everything on the internet that people are searching for to do with coaching. Like what is coaching, how is coaching, you know, what to do with coaching, all the who, what, where, when, why, how. And then it also give you topics on or ideas on what kind of titles to come up with, and you know what more research topics, so you can branch out. There's a lot of information on there, so it's a great little tool. Unfortunately, I can't show you that today.
Very cool.
Yeah, maybe just go back and have a look in your own time. Yeah.
So Brian's asking, how does this compare to BuzzSumo?
BuzzSumo is also great. Actually, I use this because this is actually, well, I think they started limiting searches at the moment because it's become so popular. This helps me with just off the bat research into particular topics that people are looking for and looking out for. BuzzSumo, they have a lot of resource, or they have a lot of different other functionalities. So things like finding influencers, a bit more in-depth stuff, but I usually start with Answer the Public first, and then you can go to find more info or further information on BuzzSumo after. Generally, that's what I would do. This is very off the bat what everyone is looking at, what everyone's doing. I wanted to cover also something else that DJ has asked earlier, and I think I want to do the answers or the questions that we have today, because so that I can kind of work with you guys, because you've given up your time and all that stuff. But the questions that Tyson has posted on the Facebook chat, I will also respond at a later time. So I want to give you guys a bit more of a priority today, because you know you're spending this time together and it's precious. So thank you for that. DJ asked the question: should we use more Google, like Bing, Baidu, Yandex? 94 to 96% of all searches are on Google. So it's a natural go-to where you need to be optimized on a platform like Google. However, Bing has been growing really rapidly and quickly. So, you know, in places like, especially India, in a few markets there, then Bing is the most widely used search engine, although a lot of them tend to work on Google, but that's a different story. Anyway, so for example, you can see that my search engine I'm using today, because it is a new laptop, is actually a Bing site. It's not a Google search engine, and a lot of the laptops come with a Bing search engine, and it's the inbuilt Bing search engine for these Microsoft products. So people, a lot of times, if you want to capture an audience that is a little bit older, if they don't know how to maybe download a Chrome browser, older people, and also the target market, or generally people who use Bing, they have a higher income level. So most of them will be earning about a household average income of about 100K and over a year. So a lot of them is because of work laptops. They don't bother downloading Chrome, and they do a lot of searches there as well. So it depends on where your market's at, but it is the general public that most people use Google, and it's synonymous with search engine. But I think Bing's doing a lot of marketing to kind of take a little bit of that market share. So if you're doing advertising like Google Ads, there will be people on Google, but also if you do Bing advertising, it's a lot cheaper at the moment. How it was a lot cheaper back in the heydays where Google was actually cheap, and now the cost has just been rising. But Bing's kind of like growing out from there, and there's a lot more search market you can capture, especially if your competitors are not already on Bing. Then that's a great way to start optimizing. Second thing about Google and Bing is most algorithms are quite similar. So if you're ranking well on Google, most likely it should translate to Bing as well. However, if it's too competitive to be ranking on Google itself, it's a lot easier to be ranking on Bing. So you might even want to start from Bing first before actually mapping onto Google. So it depends on your industry, how competitive it is, and how much budget you've got as well. So it is almost automatic that if you're ranking for Google, then it should be translated to Bing.
Awesome. I know a lot of people on this call, and a lot of people in the group as well, don't necessarily have a budget for ads and for doing their SEO or anything like that. I know a lot of the questions I get around how to optimize social media, or where should I be posting, or how do I get this organic traffic, all those different things. So it's awesome that, because what you do is you recommend that you can get a lot of different answers from the resources here, in terms of you can use websites like Answer the Public, or by checking out the Facebook ads and the Facebook ad library. You get really, really good content just for SEO purposes, and see what copy is working and not working. I know a lot of people would have me ask the questions they ask me all the time on where should they be posting. Obviously, it comes down to also where their target market is, correct? So studying your avatar is super important. But can you talk a little bit about that, of if someone's saying, I don't have a budget, but I'm starting a business with my clients here, and is there one particular thing that's growing, or one particular type of tool I should be using in order to get some organic traffic and organic conversations that lead to some more strategy sessions and more clients?
Absolutely. I think if we look at free stuff, social media is free. However, organic traffic has its limits. So these platforms are obviously wanting to make money. So your organic traffic, might not have a high reach as opposed to a paid ad, let's say, on Facebook or Instagram. However, you still need to, it's still free. It just requires time to build up a page. The other thing that Facebook has, and I don't know if you've noticed, is that it's prioritized groups. So something that Tyson's doing, if you notice that the reach for that is a lot better and a lot higher than what it was before. So in terms of building your own community, what you're doing, and a great way to be building your own brand, a great way is reach out to groups like Tyson. And I think you guys are already doing that in, being very participative and, very giving in terms of your value. The second thing to do, which is also very cheap to do, is to boost your posts. So you don't have to be a pro or super at Facebook advertising, but if you can just put a bit of money, because it does, you know, it's quite intuitive where it tells you boost post and to what audiences, that generally is, it can be really effective. So things that you can try, we find that, well, even for us, like we do advertising for Facebook and stuff like that. But if we're doing things like for a client that is a competition, let's say, and we're doing free giveaways, we tend to actually use the boosting method more so than the Facebook advertising methods. For Facebook advertising methods, we might keep to other things like brand awareness type campaigns or lead generation type campaigns, especially lead generation actually, to then run those on. But if it's a simple, hey, I want more people to see it or more people in this community, then a simple boost would do. 150 a month would be a good start. So 150 is about, I don't know, how many coffees? Maybe 10 coffees? No, 10, 20 coffees? 20 coffees? Easy. 20 coffees is about a coffee a day, right? So it's really, yeah, it's really cost effective in that sense as well. And again, it is not a, I mean, today and now it is the cheapest we can get with advertising and running a business. So I would encourage everyone, start when things are a bit more cost effective, affordable, because prices will keep going up. The more and more people are, you know, getting onto it, the more expensive advertising will be, and the more competitive the space will be as well. So get onto everything at the start or as soon as you can. I would encourage you to.
So what you're saying is, I think this helps everyone, because if you can catch on some trends before they get saturated, before it gets super expensive, then you can capitalize on the efficiency of it. And so what you're saying is, at the moment, Facebook are prioritizing Facebook groups, and also you can capitalize on things like boosting posts, especially if it's things like a giveaway or something like that. Then a boost post can be very efficient. And this is sort of what I've been encouraging people. A lot of Facebook groups hate it when you go in through their members and you contact a lot of their members and start building that. I highly encourage it. What I'd love for you guys to do is reach out to everyone in the group who you know is engaging and is being effective in building relationships, and to start your own masterminds, right? Ask that power question we highlighted at the start, and start to form your own masterminds and form your own Facebook groups, right? Build your own clan, build your own tribe. And if you can build your own Facebook group, and even if it's around something similar to mine, right? Even if it's around something similar in terms of being able to network, being able to collaborate, do service exchanges, building each other's businesses together, all from a place of abundance, then Facebook's going to prioritize that type of reach in that group. Is there anything else you would recommend as well, Perrine?
Yeah, I think the quickest way as well is your own networks. And, you know, like, I mean, even if you started your own group, it's not directly competing, let's say, with Tyson's group, because the quickest way to scale is collaboration and you know, joint ventures, which is what Tyson was talking about today. So for example, if you had a business of, let's say, 2 employees and you did a joint venture, or you know, outsourced or helped each other in your services. So it could be a photographer and videographer. They're very complementary services, but you're not experts in the other field, but you know, if you trust the person and you're able to work together, just suddenly over midnight, you've got videography and photography services that you can offer your clients just straight up. And that's for 4 employees straight up, that you've got resources to work with. So, you know, and does it cost anything to do that? Not really. It's just making connections. It's really, you know, working with people. And maybe you might want to add in photography, videography, editing services, graphic designing. You know, the list can go on, and suddenly you've got a business that does everything, or you've got contacts that do everything for any customer that asks for anything. So that, in my opinion, I think what Tyson was saying is, you know, your networking and joint ventures. So important.
And that's basically what I wanted to do with the group as well. There's a lot of people, even just on this call, right, that have so many different skill sets, in terms of social media, in terms of publishing and branding, design, right? People are building their own courses, right? Melissa does a lot of YouTube and video. There's so many different people who can add value in terms of a business. And when you're working together and when you're being resourceful, which is why I love the internal game, because if you're more resourceful and more creative, more inspired, you can come up with creative solutions on how you can organize those joint ventures, and even how you can organize and be resourceful in terms of the tools that Perrin's recommended. Right? You can come up with different ideas for collaborations, for Facebook groups, for your customer avatar, right? And how you can, creative ways that you can just allay their fears and to help them gain some confidence in you, right? You can use that, and you can really get your business to the next level by being resourceful and using these tools. So what Perrin's basically highlighted is that these tools can be used, and you can form your own groups and utilize that function while Facebook is prioritizing that reach. Is that what you're saying, Perrin?
Absolutely, but also at the same time, don't forget to always appreciate the people who have helped you out with, especially people you collaborate with. So Tyson's a great resource. I think from what he's done, there's so much opportunity that he's already brought to people, and I think replicating that model is fantastic. Just quickly, how many of us love Zoom and we work with Zoom? It's fantastic. Yeah, we're all into it. We can kind of do this virtually in the comfort of our homes. There's another thing someone asked as well in terms of how do you, one tool I actually use to actually close sales, not just on Zoom, is what I call Screen Leap. So it's a similar functionality and it's free as well, by the way. So you can actually do screen shares. It's not quite like a video chat, so we don't have to video chat it, but essentially your potential clients can see a proposal, you can run through a proposal where you do screen sharing. So this could be another platform that would be good. And I find that if you run through, let's say, proposal together, it's a lot more effective than just sending a proposal and asking someone, what do you think about it after, or in an email. So the close rate for this, and we've implemented this just quite recently, actually, this year, and we found that the close rates were a lot higher, but that's just because there's a bit of a connection, and most of the time people don't really understand your business and your service anyway. So if you talk them through it, this really helps.
Great, awesome. So you can think about how you can use this as well. We're all in different industries, or the vast majority of in different industries, but probably Brian and DJ, even Elizabeth is in real estate. If you're doing a proposal of some sort, it's a lot of people do proposals back and forth for email, but if you can just jump on a free resource and use ScreenLeap and just propose it to them visually, is that what you're saying? Is there's a more higher closing rate, because we're very visual people. Anyone who studied NLP knows that 60% of us prefer the visual in terms of how we interpret information. So if you can show someone on the screen something that's useful, it's more likely to be received. Correct?
Absolutely, really cool. Well, I'm quite conscious of time, so I'm just going to run through quickly a few of the questions that you guys have. DJ mentioned, due to past experiences with other firms or people where clients have actually adverse reactions, or they're a bit skeptical and wary. I'd like you to kind of think about it in terms of what solutions can you help your clients overcome that. They've got a past experience. Most of the time, maybe it could be case studies or some other thing, but I'd like you to dig that a little bit deeper within yourself, because you would come up with the best solution for yourself. Brian's asked, do you give guarantees in working? Yes, we do. Maybe Cheryl might be able to share a little bit more about branding and the concept of that a little bit, maybe another time. I think that would be great. I'll be interested in that as well. Best platform to use for consulting, we've got from DJ, another question. So I'm not quite sure what kind of platform that you're wanting to use it for. There's multiple platforms in the thing. So maybe just drop me a line after, and then we can chat a little bit more about this. Thank you, Brian, for your feedback. So I'm reading Cheryl's message about people don't want to be embarrassed by tacky brand. They don't want to throw money away from having a design they don't love. Helpful. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, guys. Might take that up. I've got Answer the Public. We've answered the question of BuzzSumo. Elizabeth asked if Answer the Public would be good for hashtags. I did share a couple of hashtag tools or hashtag generators before, so I might just copy and paste the links in again a bit later. So that's just specifically to get you a list of hashtags. So there's these couple of tools in the industry where you, let's say consulting as a hashtag, you can put in a keyword and it will just come up with the top hashtags for you, so you don't have to, you know, wreck your brain. You can also upload an image and it will generate all the hashtags for you for the image. So I might share that a little bit later. Keyword tool for blogs. There is a couple of tools that I actually use. There's well, for blogs. One would be researching on a free tool, which is the Google Ads Keyword Planner. And that's a free tool. So if you have Google Ads an account, or you can set an account up just to use the tool, it's free anyway. You can use that. The other tools were paid, but I would use Answer the Public in terms of content, what kind of content, but a keyword research would do good for let's say blogs, and you just want to put some keywords in there. There is another extension, so maybe I'm just going to write that down so I can kind of send you all the links at one go. There is an extension that I use as well. It's not on this computer, unfortunately, that I can share with you guys. And it basically, if you go to Google and type in any keyword for it, so for example, coaching, it will come up with a list of suggested keywords for you to use in your blogs as well. Yep.
Awesome. Maybe you can put are you going to put those links in the Facebook group?
Yeah, I think
okay,
I'll do
perfect.
that. Yeah.
Awesome. Because that'll give everyone sort of interested here in the hashtags. That's cool. That would be awesome if you could send those links. Also, yeah. another thing Corinne shared with me outside of this call is a resource, because I'm helping a lot of my clients grow their business organically on Facebook and using things like collaborations and Facebook groups, all those different things. I was keen to know what's the best, how I can stay on top of things like the algorithm and stay on top of things, what's current and what I can capitalize on that is being prioritized. Corinne recommends using Google Alerts, correct?
Absolutely.
So Google Alerts is something that that's an extension of some sort, and you can just type in the type of information or topic that you'd like to keep current with, and you can have that send you an email as frequently as you like, whether it be weekly, daily, whatever it may be, and it will give you the top ranking articles that are to do with that keyword. So if you wanted to do YouTube, or if you wanted to do LinkedIn or Facebook groups or whatever social media, digital marketing you'd like to do, you can type in that keyword and it will give you some top ranking articles. So whether it be once a week, you can just jump in and read a few articles, get some really key tips and tricks on what's current at the moment, and that'll allow you to do some of your own research and some of your own diving in deep on what can work and what can't work and things like that. So if you're looking to stay current with something like that, then I found Google Alerts to be super beneficial as well.
Absolutely. So you can see here, I've put the page up. So if you're interested in Bitcoin, anything, it could be, footy, anything at all in your personal life that you want to be on top of.
For those who are not in Australia, they don't know what footy is. That's our Australian rules football. Or
NBA or anything like that. Anytime the internet mentions like the word, NBA, then it will send you the articles that are linked to it. so you can be on top of everything. So it can be, you know, even your personal interests, or it could be a business interest, like I want to know all the Facebook algorithm changes. It will send me an alert for that as well. Sounds cool.
Footy is not soccer, Cheryl. I'll give you some information about it afterwards.
It's footy finals next week, so good to be on top of it. Well, the next question about, I think Cheryl's mentioning, is an SEO kind of dying because of Google's AI auto answering? There are a couple of things. One is a lot of people still use searches, so it is still important to be ranking for your searches. The second thing is also a lot of people are kind of more educated with differentiating between a sponsored post and an organic post. So sometimes people don't click. I don't know if you guys do that. You don't click on the ones on search results that says ad. And sometimes you look for organic because you know that they've paid for it. But there are two ways. One is, the best way actually, and these, if you can run both of them at the same time, they're really, really complementary. Because if you're on the top search of what we call rank 0, and you're also in your SEO organic ranking, you're kind of pretty much dominating, you know, 2 slots on one page. And that's very, very powerful already. So a lot of click-throughs would come from that. So I would say not necessarily as yet, because where your customers, they're still on Google. Brian had a question on about going live on Facebook group, business pages, and things like that. Highly recommend going live. Just a quick tool and tip around that. Every time a platform releases something new, get onto it, because they will reward you, because it's something new that they want to encourage people to use, right? So if you're one of the first few ones, then good on you. They will reward you in some way. Yeah, mostly it's about reach. I might take this question off with Cheryl, if you've got, you know, on how we attract 7-figure budgets, and not really how to do marketing, but yeah, I might chat with you a little bit about that a little bit later, because that's a bit more about it. Do we have any other? Brian's asked about LinkedIn ads. That's a very, very specific strategy. LinkedIn is actually a lot more expensive than normal or other platforms, and that's only because they want to have a very professional, it is a professional page. So that's a completely, it's a different strategy. However, what you can do if you're B2B and you're reaching out to a lot of, or connecting to a lot of individuals. So for example, you're interested in all the HR managers in all, you know, the corporates. How do you reach out to them on LinkedIn? Because obviously HR people are the most active on LinkedIn. Then there is a tool that I've shared called, that's my tool, my mental block at the moment, LinkedIn Helper. That is only $15 a month, but it basically is like cloning yourself, and it will work. It will reach out to these people and send a message that you've already pre-planned or preset, and then it will be basically, it's a bot that will do the invites, that will do the messaging, that will do the endorsing, all the LinkedIn work for you. So you can basically not be at your desk or not be physically doing it while you are away, you know, writing a proposal or having coffee. So just a quick one about LinkedIn on that one.
Most people here love their coffee.
It is, yes. I think it's an international thing. Starbucks has done a good work spreading the goodness of coffee. Okay, cleaning, yeah. I might address some of that, would be a little bit later. A few people want to learn about hashtags. I might just put a couple of links about hashtags up here, so you can kind of just check it out yourself. It's very self-explanatory. So like I said, just punch in your keyword and boom, you get everything. Thank you for that. Any other advertising? B2B, yep, okay. I believe we've covered everything here. Is that correct? Everyone all good?
It seems like I know the topic of digital marketing is so broad, right? So I was almost keen to just have a more specific topic for this one, but I thought if everyone comes with their particular questions, we might be able to engage in different topics that we could reach out for other Zoom calls. So if more people are interested in things like hashtags or Facebook groups or email or their website or something like that, then we may be able to specify on a particular topic for future sessions. But I think this has got a lot of people really keen to just diving deep on a few really key components, whether it be your customer avatar, for example. We'll have you to study the pain points, to study the motivation, and to look at other competitors on the Facebook ads library on what they're doing. I think that in and of itself will give someone ideas on what to put even in their organic posts and to see what's working and what's not working. But even key tips around Answer the Public as a resource, or to do Facebook groups that's being prioritized at the moment, to boost posts, especially with things like giveaways, can be very, very cheap but also very efficient. I'm big on collaborations and joint ventures, which is what I highly encourage, and Perrin said the key components of that. Then Screen Leap, if anyone wants to write proposals or present something to a client or a prospect visually, is also a very good thing. I love Google Alerts to be able to remind me, or at least update me with the best resources, the best tools, the current skills. And another key component which Prince just highlighted is to stay on top of what's new. Anytime something new comes out, any platform, whether it be Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, whatever it may be, anything that's new is going to be prioritized as well. So you can jump on and capitalize on that. But I think she's answered a lot of your questions. What I'd love in the group, I'm going to put a post up. If people are able to put down their biggest takeaways from this, but also send a post, even if it's saying thank you, so that everyone here can engage with one another. You can add each other, you can start talking, you can ask the power question of who can I send your way that's going to be an ideal client or a key source of collaboration, and you can start building your own networks. If you want to build your own Facebook group or leverage your own Facebook group, that's super key. I'm keen to keep going and talking about this if you guys are. So I'm not sure what you guys are for time. I love getting on these calls and giving as much value as I can. So if you have any other questions, you can feel free to keep going. Everyone that started the call is still here. Andrea just left, but everyone's still here. So everyone must be loving the content, getting key tips and value from it. So I'm more than happy to stay on and more than happy to answer any questions. I do have a few slides around mindset if you want to learn how to engage and be creative with how you can use these tools. So I'm more than happy to do that as well. But Perrin, is there anything else you wanted to finish up on? Anything else you wanted to highlight, or anything you think we should know that's important?
I think the last thing is business owners as well, and that we're all running the race. I think the best advice would be kind to yourself, and always, be encouraging, love yourself. You guys are all doing a fantastic job just by running your own business. So I think someone was saying something. Theo? Yep.
Do you want to ask any questions? Now, Cheryl's asking something around finding larger clients. I'm not too sure.
Okay, where do you find larger clients? So the number one question is again asking, where are your clients? Where are the larger clients, and what are they doing? So we need to understand where they are. So, you know, if they're on a certain platform, that's where you go to. What do they want? That's your messaging. Targeting, so without understanding too much on what you do, because obviously different industries are quite different, but generally go to where your customers are and then give them a message of what they're looking for. What do they need? What do they want? Or how to help them resolve a problem. And that's where you find your clients. It could also mean, it doesn't have to mean just digital, but it could also mean connection. So for example, if you know someone who's high profile and knows your target audience, that's a person to connect with. That's just a very general, you know, feedback or ideas around that. Yeah.
Amazing, cool. And she's asking also, where are your clients hanging out? If you're for the 7-figure marketing clients, are there any platforms that they hang out, or what you do for your individual strategy that allow them to be attracted?
A lot of our 7-figure marketing clients, they do have a budget. So we do have some, especially we have a very, very good mobile app resource or department, and we do a lot of cross referrals. So with clients like that, it's who you know. You have to go to them directly to talk about them, or they would know other people in the same industry that have a similar issue or a similar problem that they want to help to do with. The other thing as well is, don't be afraid to ask for referrals, because a lot of times we feel apologetic or just you feel bad or about asking for someone, but you know, as much as you give as well, then people are happy to look out for opportunities for you as well.
Perfect.
And then serve your clients from there. Yep.
And I think as well, Shell, I think DJ is backing up, yes, it's who you know, especially for the larger companies. For Cheryl, if you were to also reach out to larger companies or people who are in those larger teams who are the decision makers, and also ask that power question of who can I send your way that's an ideal client or key source of collaboration, you allow, it's so powerful how much you can get into their network and add them into your clan, add them to your your tribe. I basically got into the networks I have here in Melbourne because I asked that question to so many people, and it doesn't matter if someone has a $40 million business or $2 million business, or if they're just starting out. You can ask the exact same question and you can give the same amount of value. So for example, the business authorities group here that we have in Melbourne, I got into that community by asking the business leader, Johan, many of you know him, by doing that. At the start of this year, I just started sending him clients and started sending him prospects and people who he can collaborate with. And I instantly just got in his network and just started doing the exact same for his clients and the exact same for his network and many other networks that I'm in. So it's a very easy way to build like, know, and trust, but to also just come from a place of service, right? A place of abundance. And so it's not that necessarily that I need something from you in exchange, but I also just want to come from an internal place of giving, internal place of kindness, internal place of just adding value, not necessarily because of what I get, because it's who I am. And that's basically what I want to encourage the mindset around when you ask this question as well.
Actually, another thing that we do, Cheryl, about big clients is we put in a lot of effort to pitch to them. So for example, it could mean even creating a whole video content with a solution that they currently already don't have, and then pitching in terms of not just how this solution will help you, but partner with us because it will help your customers, it will reach out, but then we put in a lot more effort. So there was one that we recently did where we set up the room to be like a movie theater, and we invited the clients in and we had a movie, and then we actually made a video to help them understand how our solution will help them. And it was like a whole screening, and it's like the whole experience. So it's not just here's a proposal, here's a pitch, but with these bigger clients, then the relationship goes a long way. But again, it starts with the customer avatar. What do they need? What do they want? And then we come up with a solution to reach exactly their pain point, to also reach exactly what they need and what they want. That generally, well, it's a no-brainer when they look at your presentation. It's like, yeah, why haven't we already started doing work together? So think of like it, be innovative, be creative, but however, the thing is you do need to invest, because there will be times where you put in all these blood, sweat and tears and it doesn't turn into a closed sale, but they will always keep you in mind because of that experience with you. So it doesn't have to be a now thing. It sometimes will take you into the future, or they would have thought about someone else who they can refer you to as well. So at the end of the day, it's not an immediate return, but there will always be a return for your efforts.
And I think what you highlighted was perfect in terms of the creativity. If you're in your like Andrea, who's left, but also Cheryl, highly creative people in terms of branding, in terms of all the digital design stuff. If you can be resourceful and creative in how you can engage larger organizations, larger companies, and make it an experience for them and build that like, know, and trust, then that's going to go a very, very long way. If you can invest in your creativity, if you can get into the state and the mental and emotional state of allowing you to be creative, that's going to go a very, very long way with the innovative ideas on how to get those types of clients and how to make that experience for them, right? Because even if they don't become a client, like I said, it can be a long-term relationship. And if you open up a relationship that is around collaboration, around joint ventures, around connecting people, then they will always see you as valuable, right? Because I know Kerry had a question earlier when we were talking, and she said, because she's not only teaching music, but she teaches kids, and she's got really, really empowering message around kids. And she's like, I can't really collaborate with a lot of people. There's not really so much I can offer in terms of value. One thing I would offer Kerry and many people who are thinking that they can't do a service exchange is to connect people, right? One thing that is around this, one thing that's the idea around this group is to prioritize three things, right? It's connect, collaborate, and contribute. Always have those three things in mind when you're on the phone with someone. Who can I connect this person with? So, for example, Kerry is to connect Perrin with DJ. All of a sudden, Kerry gets instant value, and she just creates something out of basically nothing, because she's connected two people that can do business together, that can create collaborations together, that can do joint ventures together. And she's created that value by just connecting two people. And so that's one way you can also approach it. If you are to approach a very high-end client and you're like, oh, what can I do in terms of server exchange, or how can I offer some sort of value? Connect them with other people. That's why people have been utilizing me, because they see me as a super connector, because I'm my network is so big and I know exactly who to connect. So people have been utilizing me and saying, hey, Tice, connect with this person, and they connect me with others, and we just do awesome business together. And it's an amazing way that you can add value. So you don't necessarily have to do some sort of service exchange, but you can give value to even larger clients by just connecting them with other larger clients. Is there anything you would add to that, Bryn?
Absolutely. I think the other thing as well is don't be afraid of investing in your own business, because a lot of times I see a lot of businesses asking me, what can I do with the least amount of budget, and how can I expect, like, what kind of results can I expect? Think about it, if it's your child or your baby, you want to give the best things to your baby. You want to give the best food, the best nutrition, the best all that stuff. But why do we treat our businesses otherwise, right? Like, we want to give the least but get the most out of it. We're not a customer, we are the service provider. we don't have that same expectation. So absolutely, on point with what you're talking about, but also don't be afraid to invest, because it will come back. Anything you invest into, it's a sowing and reaping principle. It will come back in some form, shape, sometimes not an immediate gratitude type of thing, but delayed gratification, because your business is going to be running for a long time. It's a long-term thinking, long-term process. So what you know, you invest into, like Tyson's investing into people, and what he's going to get back in return is more people and more quality people that will also help him with his networking and his connecting as well.
Exactly. And so what you can think, guys, even if you're a little bit worried about investing in ads, you can, one thing that will come from it is more credibility and authority, but also an audience, right? Is that, would you say the same thing, Prin? If you, when you're investing in ads, even if it's not a return on your investment in terms of that particular product, you will get details of an audience where you can nurture longer term, right?
Absolutely. So the truth, I don't necessarily focus on the success of an ad. Yes, it is very important to get an ROI, but the what Tyson was saying, the data, the information you get, the email addresses or the connections you get when they interact with you, it's going to take you a long way and will point you to the right direction. So are your people not liking your ad? Find out why. And then you never have to do the ad again. Are your people, you know, they like a certain ad, they like a certain color, and sometimes even color changes make a difference of 20% in revenue in terms of ads, ad copy or ad, the results. I've seen that happen, and you know, you don't know until you test it. You don't know until you know what's not working to find out what is working to point you to the right direction. Thank you, Tyson.
Wow, powerful. Awesome. Any other questions that people have? I think you basically covered everything. DJ's got his hand up.
May I call you Ma?
Hey, Parin. Ma is actually my married name, by the way.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought it was a nickname. Okay, well, Parin, thank you very much for your time. Hey, I tried to connect with you on LinkedIn, but for some reason you're locked. So all I wanted to do is say, how can I connect with you on LinkedIn? I wrote it in the thoughts here, and, you know, message or whatever it might be, and that way I'd like to follow you. I am following MWE already because I think it's an interesting organization. It could give me some insights. You know, the same thing, you know, spy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thank you for your time today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for participating and connecting. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Mahalo.
Awesome. That's what it's all about, guys. So, you know, Prin's not asking for anything in return. What I've just asked for the group is to utilize the skills we've been encouraging, we've been building, and that is to ask Prin, who can I send your way that would be an ideal client or a key source of collaboration, right? So DJ is going to reach out and follow her. Obviously, with this type of digital marketing, Prin is an immense resource because she's up to date with everything. The resources, the tools, the tactics, what's working, what's not working, what's on the decline, what's on the incline. So she's an immense resource, and especially like when Cheryl is saying, how do I get to larger clients? It may be through Prin. I don't want to be the one to point it out. It could, if it's hitting you in the face. But if Prin's working with larger clients, maybe she's the one you can build a relationship with. She's the one that can you may want to build over time and offer value straight up, right? And people like Prin who have larger clients, ask them, who can I send your way that's an ideal client or a key source of collaboration? You'll be so surprised with the amount of value that you can give, but also what can come from it in terms of the long-term relationships and the ideas and the insights. Even now with this group, I've just got so many different creative ideas and insights and ways in which I can take it just to simply add value, because I'm in that state of creativity. I'm not even thinking what I can get in return. I'm just like, what value can I add, right? And it just turns out that because I'm a super connector, I mean, branded as a super connector, not only is it my superpower, but also people are now starting to connect with me. So many things can come from this if you come from a place of service, come from a place of abundance, and the creative solutions will just come to you the more you get into that state. So that can be super key, but good stuff, DJ, to follow Prin. And if Prin, you can put down some links where we can follow you, connect with you, ask you how we can help, then that would be beneficial as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, definitely, I'll prepare like some information for you guys. So stay tuned in this channel. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Very cool. I don't think we have time for me to go through the slides that I had prepared, but that's all for the future. If people are keen to reach out and know more about how you can capitalize on this by using the power of your mind, then I'm more than happy to do something on that. I might even present it in the group. But I'm sure you guys will help me in thanking Perrine and doing whatever we can to help her on her journey. I will put a post in the group about 5 minutes after we hang up from here. If people want to tag themselves and just say what their biggest takeaway was, it'll be super important for not only Perrine to understand, but also for you guys to come together and to work through how you can do some service exchanges, how you can do some collaborating and connecting, and how you might want to reach out to DJ or Melissa or Brian or Kerry, Cheryl, and ask them the key question, right? Ask them who you can send their way, and you can start to build your tribe, right? Start to build what I call your council of people that you can rely on, people that can rely on you. And you don't just gain access to Perrine or DJ or Melissa, right? Or anyone on here, you gain access to their network, right? It's not just one person, you gain access to their network. It's immensely beneficial. So I'll put a post up in there. And if you guys just want to simply just tag yourself, and if you want to just write down some key insights from today, that would be super, super beneficial. But does anyone have any lasting questions? You can feel free to unmute yourselves. Everyone's good. Perrine, you're an absolute champion, and I'm sure you can sense there's absolute gold in her brain. She does this for a living, and she absolutely just can go deep on any topic. So reach out, have her in your council. She'll be immensely beneficial. So thanks so much, Perrine. We can even talk after this as well. But I'll post that in the group in about 5 minutes. And if you guys could engage in that post and share your gratitude to Perrine, that would be awesome. So thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers.